This video is on the opening range indicator, and to go over again the trading hours, you need to be able to find your way over to the CME website, look up the trading hours for futures and options. You'll get the chart, and you can pull up your instrument or product, interest rates, metals. We use equity indexes, and the Globex is 1700. So that's your RTH, or your Globex, excuse me, open. Your RTH open is at 8:30 a.m. And you can find this other little chart um, about specifically what happens during the trading session and to the price limits. And the 8:30 a.m. open is often used as a daytime pivot. If you're above it, go long. If you're below it, go short. And you can see at 3 p.m. there are some changes to the position percentages of net change, and limitations. And then they go down for maintenance at 3:15 to 3:30 to print that daily settlement price. They go back open between 3:30 and 4:15, and that's the same day price limits, the same day trading as the prior session. So there's this little window of time between 3:30 and 4:15 that the market really is open, but nothing happens. Usually it's just very tiny range that doesn't do anything. Then the market closes at 4:15 to 5, and that closes for the settlement date, and it opens back up at 5 p.m. That's the key. And so this new trade date, 5 p.m. to 8:30 a.m., there's your Globex right there. So that is why I created my opening range indicator the way I did. Deepak was asking what's the difference between my opening range and Lizard Trader. Well, I love Lizard Trader indicators, and I asked Fat Tails to help me put my own custom opening range indicator together, and he did. So thank you so much, Harry. And I emphasize the purple for nighttime, and so you can see the Globex open and the Globex high, middle, and low. And so these levels come back and play all the time in the RTH session. So for opening range, the RTH session I have in yellow, and I have the open, mid-band, and high. And that's on a 60-minute range right there. 60-minute range. That's your 1 hour initial balance. And if the market breaks that 1 hour initial balance, sometimes it can run. And look where this ran to right here, the Globex open. So, and here, right here, it was support. And Globex came back to its open and then bounced. So this is a support resistance, the Globex open. And I'm glad that my version of this opening range indicator can display it so well as those halfbacks. And the halfback on this opening range for my 8:30 to 15:15 is not a 30-minute halfback. I mean, it's the actual midband between the high and low of the first 60 minutes. And that too is a pivot, as you can see here. Many days, many times, price will balance on that pivot of the halfback and then resume a move if it doesn't break away from it altogether. So you can put your own little opening range bloodhound little templates together using these levels to bounce off of, so above or below any of the levels that you find on the indicator that you can create. To get that custom opening range setting on your indicator for the Globex, you'll want to put another instance of the indicator on your chart. So you're going to select the indicator again, but you're going to change this version settings to 1700 as the opening start time. And you're going to extend that opening end time all the way through 8:30 a.m. Then you'll want to go ahead and change your pre-session ranges so the indicator will work. Set the pre-session start time to 8:30 and the pre-session end time to 1700. And then only you're going to show the regular open. So we're showing the open for that 1700 Globex start time, and I'm coloring it in pink, nice and thick. And so that's how you get it on your chart. And like I said, it is a valid open. It opens the nighttime session, and it is often used as a balance area. So you can use it to trade to and trade away from. And so Bloodhound allows you to get a signal off of the levels. So I have my one-minute open strategy, and here it is, Globex open. Here, let me do this. Having trouble with the drawing tools when I'm recording. Alright, there we go. Plug it in. So you just do a comparison solver, and it's very easy to compare the closing price of your bar relative to these levels in the opening range indicator. And leave it on exchange time, and then you can make your setting changes inside the indicator. So you see here I have the session start time at 1700, the end time at 8:30, the pre-session start time at 8:30, and the pre-session end time at 1600. Bloodhound is a little bit different. And then I just click open, click OK. And that gives me that pivot that I can use just like I could any of the other levels. So if you wanted to use a pivot for your 60-minute initial balance area, you could create a new comparison solver. Call it IB midband. Price. Go to the indicator, opening range. Change your right here to range midband. Click OK. And here we go. If it's above the midband, you go long. If it's below the midband, you go short. And this also makes a good filter. So if we were to combine these and require it to be above and below both to show that range expansion, there we go. Opening range strategy, just that simple. So there's your bias, and you want to see if you can match this bias to your um, momentum and linear regression, or however else you trade. So the opening range indicator is very easy to use with Bloodhound, and then you can put, like I said, your other filters on this and come up with strategies to um, trade it this way, or you can set it up to hit the exact level on touches to the level, just like you would any other line that you can bounce a line off of. So when the high or the low hits the line and you put your Bloodhound template on bar close false, you can run an instance that it would execute a signal at the level that you tell it to touch. And that could be a moving average, it can be the PT indicator, it can be the LRT indicator, it can be the opening range indicator. Whatever line that you can touch with Bloodhound, you can get a bounce a signal off of it if that's what you would like to do. A lot of traders will require some sort of confirmation or higher time frame structure, um, or something like that. You can see we closed on the low and it was all red. Going to the end of the day made it real easy to tell which way to go, right? So, but this is the reason I put the opening range indicator together, and I like my version. Thank you, Harry, so much. Did a wonderful job. I can get my Globex open and bounce, signals off of that, which, I think is pretty good for an opening range strategy. All right. Thank you so much. I'll have a great trading session this week.